As much as we like the Sonic movies, the Sonic will never ever pass Mario. Okay, Sonic was a core in the '90s. Sonic and Mario were rivals, obviously, but Sonic is never gonna pass Mario. Okay, the games for years have never passed Mario in terms of sales, in terms of copies sold. Okay, look at the best-selling Sonic games over the past 20 years and the best-selling Mario games. Okay, Mario games sell more. So the best-selling Mario games of all time. We look at Nintendo. This is by a Nintendo site. So Mario Odyssey sold 28 million copies. Sonic Forces, I think, sold a couple million. Okay, let's compare Mario Wonder versus Mario Superstars. Sega considered Mario Superstars a financial disappointment. Mario Wonder sold 13 million copies. Sonic Forces, let's compare Sonic Forces versus to what's a more recent Mario game. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Sonic Frontiers, Sega's like, oh, sold 4 to 5 million copies. Okay, Mario Bros. U Deluxe sold 19 million copies. Okay, that's how much. Okay, Mario games still sell a lot, but Sonic is lucky to get to the 5 million mark. Okay, this is how it has been for the past 20 years for Sonic versus Mario. Okay, that's mostly because of how Sega treated the Sonic IP over the past 20 years. Sonic has had kind of an identity crisis. Okay, Sonic didn't know what Sonic wanted to be. I think of the movies and the more recent games, the episode of Sonic Superstars, you know, I think Sonic has finally gained identity, or finally setting an identity as well. Okay, they're finally saying, okay, we gotta do something about this whole Sonic identity stuff because it's hurting the IP. Okay, it's hurting the IP, it's hurting the franchise, it's hurting Sonic as a series. You look at the Sonic series and sales here. So no Sonic game has passed 5 million since the 90s, since the 2D, since Sonic 2 and Sonic 1. Okay, no Sonic game has ever passed 5 million copies as well. They even have Lost World, which only and Mania only sold 1 million copies. Frontiers only sold 3.5 million copies. So it really shows you that Sonic hasn't really been too successful, compared to Mario, obviously. Mario's series has become more popular as well here. And when it comes to Sonic as a franchise, you know, it's just, Sonic has had a big identity crisis because, throughout the 2000s, you had, until Sonic 06, Sonic games are doing quite fine. Okay. But then afterwards, we had all these weird games like Sonic 06, Sonic and the Black Knight, all these weird gimmick games like Sonic Colors, Then we had the one where they tried to nostalgia bait people for Sonic Generations, okay? And then they tried to do it again with Sonic Forces. And then they had the Sonic Boom era that no one liked, okay? It took until Sonic Frontiers, people were like, oh, this game's actually cool. This is actually a cool game. Like, people actually like that, okay? Then we had Sonic Superstars, which wasn't even developed by Sega. It was developed by a third-party studio. And all it was another, 2D Sonic game. It wasn't really anything special or unique that didn't really stand out. It was probably one of the more forgettable Sonic games, honestly. Okay, but Sonic games don't really sell too well, and that's mostly because of how, you know, you know, it's mostly because of how they treated the Sonic franchise, how Sega and how Sonic has been treated. Like, Sonic Boom was a terrible era, okay? Yeah, but Sonic isn't as popular as it used to anymore. And I think this bodes poorly for a series like Pokemon. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. And I think the real thing of Sonic is that a lot of normies still believe that most Sonic games are terrible. Okay? And that's mostly because of how Sonic has been treated. Okay? Sonic has been treated like crap ever since Sega has gone for a party. And with the Sonic movie success, it shows that there are still tons of people who like the Sonic franchise, okay, who still like the Sonic franchise, but the problem is Sega needs to learn from this and in these past couple of games and realize that you have to make good games, okay? I don't understand why this is a hard thing for Sega to realize, okay? But you have to make games that people actually want to play, Sega, okay? It shouldn't be that difficult, okay? Sonic 3 is one of the highest grossing video game movies of all time, okay? You know, it's at $192 million domestically and $147 million internationally. It's one of the highest selling, highest grossing video game movies of all time. But Mario movie, I think that's because of the consistent quality of the Mario IP. Okay? Because Nintendo always makes sure the games are done and complete. You don't have to have a Sonic movie, a Sonic game every year. And, you know, they're outsourcing like these Sonic games to third-party developers. And, you know, they did it many, many times, not the Sonic Superstars. You have Sonic, you know, Boom games that were all outsourced to third-party developers. Okay? I'm not saying that third-party developers suck or anything, because you could definitely have third-party developers make good games, but they don't know the IP as well as Sega does, and Sonic Team, okay? But Sonic is, you know, Sonic Frontiers has been the best selling Sonic game since I think Heroes as well. You know, the best selling Sonic game since Sonic Heroes, which, you know, is a pretty big milestone, obviously. And we're not counting re-releases like Sonic Colors, which probably sold pretty well, but, you know, it is the best-selling 3D Sonic game of all time, which is still a big milestone for the series as well. Here, but Sonic Forces were not Sonic Forces. Sonic Frontiers was the highest-selling Sonic game in 20 years, basically. It is the most popular, most successful 3D Sonic game ever. Okay. And hopefully Sega learns from the success of that game here. And yeah, that's what this video here. And yeah, actually, but yeah, it's the best selling Sonic 3D Sonic game since Sonic Heroes, which sold 4.5 million as well. You know, Sonic Colors, that's kind of seen because you have the remake, the re-release of Sonic Heroes. Not Sonic Heroes, Sonic Colors, because Sonic Colors got a re-release. Obviously, so we can't really. It's not really a good comparison, okay? Say there is Sonic Generations, Sonic XL Generations, it's not really a good comparison. Okay, because Sonic Colors, that's including the re-release of Sonic Colors. They released a couple years ago, okay? As well. But that is it about Sonic versus Mario, okay? It is because of a lot of the Sonic games were just not that good. You can have like a slightly decent Sonic game, and it'll be held as one of the best Sonic games of all time. You have a decent Mario game, it'll be held as like one of the worst Mario games, like a passable Mario game. Like New Super Mario Bros. 2 is considered the worst Mario game, and that is still like it's still a quality product, even if you don't like the game. Okay, it's still value in the worst Mario games. Okay, like the most Mario games are only just underwhelming compared to previous entries. Well, the worst Sonic games are just broken, buggy, you know, unfinished, have terrible storylines, have controversial scenes like Sonic kissing a woman kissing Sonic, or just outright broken gameplay design. And you look at the worst video games of all time, Sonic has several games on the list, okay? Mario probably does too, like Sticker Style, I think is probably on there. But look at the worst video games of all time, okay? Sonic has a game in the top 10 worst games of all time. That being the infamous Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, obviously, or Sonic 06 as well, okay? But when it comes to Sonic, okay, and also you have the Sonic Boom game too, which is at 21 as well, but there's no Mario games outside of Hotel Mario, which was outsourced to a third-party developer. But there is at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Sonic games in the top 10 worst games of all time voted. So in Mario there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And one of those is Hotel Mario, which doesn't really count. Okay, 'cause that was a CDI game. Okay, so actual Nintendo Mario games is Mario is Missing, which again, not too surprising. New Super Mario Bros. 2, not too surprising. Sticker Style, not too surprising. Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, not too surprising. Mario's Picross, not too surprising. A lot of people didn't like that game. But for some strange reason, Mario Kart Wii was one person that's salty that they lost in Mario Kart Wii. Oh, it's because they don't like the fact that Baby Peach is in the game. Yes, that's the whole reason you voted for Mario Kart Wii in the worst games. Because Peach and Daisy are, yeah, this is just ridiculous. The Mario fandom needs some help. Again, there was an era where people hated Peach and Daisy and Mario, okay? I was they said the Mario Bros. For the Wii was a flop. Oh yeah, a game that sold 40 million copies, according to these Mario Kart fans, these so-called Mario fans. Yeah, and it's on here because of Baby Daisy, and by that logic, Mario Kart 8 would be in the top 100 awards because it had Pink Gold Peach as well. Okay. Oh my god. Yeah. And yeah, I just find that people hating Mario Kart Wii because Mario is for babies. Mario is for babies. I just forget these comments on Mario Kart Wii. Mario Kart is for babies. And the only reason why people were voting for Mario Kart Wii is because of Baby Daisy. That's just funny. Oh yeah, let's vote on a Mario game because it has a character I don't like in it. Mario fandom in a nutshell. Like New Super Mario Bros. 2, it makes sense. Like a lot of people, that's easily one of the weakest Mario games ever made. Hotel Mario, don't need to explain that one. Mario's Missing, don't need to explain that one. Cat Mario, that's not even a Nintendo game. That is a fan-made game. Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, again, a lot of people don't like that game. That is one of the worst Mario games because a lot of people said it was too difficult. And of course, he had Sticker Style, which not too surprising that game would be in the top 100 because Sticker Style is a terrible game. Then we have Super Mario. People voting for Super Mario Bros. 3 because they can't beat the third level in the game. Yes, the game is bad because you can't beat the level in the game, and someone replied, "Does get good." Yes. Yeah, the Mario fandom needs help 100%. Okay, I'm voting Mario Kart Wii in the top 10 games because the game had a character I didn't like, and there was also the 3DS version of Sonic Lost World, which was a terrible port. Sonic Free Riders, Sonic Rabbit, Sonic Rabbit's on the list. Oh yes. That game is on the list. Sonic Boom Rider, Sonic R is on the list. Secret Wings. I'm surprised Sonic and the Black Knight isn't on here. Okay, actually, the Sonic and the. Why do people hate that game so much? Why do people hate Sonic Chronicles so much? That's funny. Oh, that's like a cult classic game. And of course, guess what? People were voting the game because Amy Rose was in it. Yes, that's the only reason why people were voting for this game. Amy Rose, that's ridiculous. This is why people don't. This is why the Mario Sonic fan base, they both need help. Okay, voting for a game because there's a character they don't like in a game is just ridiculous. Okay, it's like me. It's like someone voting for Mother 3 because they don't like Porky Mints as a character. I'm just using that as an example because I know Porky Mints is like one of the most hated video game characters of all time. Or voting for No More Heroes 2 because they don't like Jasper Bad Jr. as a villain. But a lot of people don't say that's a bad game. Okay, No More Heroes 2 Desperate Struggle, that's what the game is called. Yeah, it's like voting for that game because Jasper Bat Jr., they don't like him. But he is a pretty bad villain, but voting for the whole game because of one character is really not a good idea. Because do you hate the game or do you hate the character? Okay. And that's what this video here, and goodbye.